be really creepy if a girl knew that you've been holding onto a picture of her for 15 years before you even knew her. My point is that it's funny, like I don't find that love is really described this way too often, but Rob has earned this day. He's earned this day. He's earned this love. And he earned it years ago. And as an old friend of his, you wonder, who is this girl? Who is she? What's she gonna, you imagine her, and to finally meet her and to get to know her, to get to know the person that he's earned a lifetime with, she's every bit as wonderful. So I want to raise the toast to Rob and Jess, and knowing this is for you, salute.
Great job, Fish. Great job. First of all, where's Nona at? Nona? Where you at, Nona? Okay, hey Nona, look. I love you, we all love you. No heckling me, okay? The next 10 to 12 minutes are mine, okay? And I feel like I've earned this a bit. But the first rule of public speaking I've learned is to find the heckler and then publicly call them out. And I think Nona, Robbie's 89-year-old grandmother, is probably most likely to heckle me in this speech. So look, I'm Jeff Iggy. I'm 50% of Robbie's best man. I think probably realistically it's probably slightly less than that, but Robbie rounded up to my favor. I want to start with talking about the journey that it's been to get to here. And I'm not talking about the journey that Rob and Jess have had, I'm actually talking about the journey to actually get to this location. Look, I think for a lot of people, pretty much everyone in here, the average trip was probably 7 to 8 hours. So I think calling it a journey is fair. I mean, I think a 2 to 3 hour car ride, I mean, you call that a trip? 7 to 8 hours, that's a journey. And so, look, I think it's been a great choice of location for two key reasons. One, destination weddings are amazing because, first of all, bringing this much love, family, friends together, people I haven't seen in 10 years. Rob and Jess, in particular, will remember this for the rest of their lives. I think everyone here will remember this for the rest of their lives because we've been able to spend so much time together as a group over the course of the past 3 days, and it's been awesome. I mean, incredible. Spending the last few days together. Tonight's going to be amazing. I'm sure tomorrow will be amazing. And that is just so special. And the second reason why is because I never realized that Dirty Dancing groupies were an actual thing until I got here. And it's been really incredible to meet a few of the people that are Dirty Dancing groupies. I mean, we've had scavenger hunts, we've had people running around in the shirts, and I'm like, man, I've seen the movie twice in the bar, just on replay the last few nights, but I mean, my wife and my sister-in-law met someone at the pool the other day, and the guy went into how he spent Dirty Dancing movie anniversaries over the course of the last 20 years. I mean, it was really special. So the point of this is, look, having 125 people come to the middle of nowhere in Virginia and be able to spend this much time is a real testament to the love that Rob and Jess have. This one. Rob and Jeff. There it was. It's just 2 letters. It's just 2 letters. The love that Rob and Jess have surrounding them, and it's really special. It's really special. And so I want to talk about a little bit about our last road trip that Robbie and I had together. And so it's on Robbie's bachelor party. Robbie and I have shared together a lot of road trips, which I'll go into a little bit. But California, Nona. California, I'll take that. That wasn't a heckle. I know. We wanted to go to the Price is Right really bad. And so,
Them do it, the Price is Right.
look, it's the, where am I going with this here? The road trip. We're on the road trip. So, Robbie, on our obviously there's a road trip involved in Robbie's bachelor party, Miami to Key West, 4 hours. On our return trip to Miami International Airport, Robbie asked me a really poignant question. And it was, what do you think makes your marriage great? And so I gave Robbie an answer then, which is a lot what I'm going to tell you now, but I think the points that I think Robbie and Jess already exemplify amazingly, and I think they're all going to be critical in making your marriage great. And so the first point is be easy to forgive. And so, look, I know Robbie's great at forgiving because I've done some stuff. And he's forgiven me. Point 1. We did a road trip my sophomore year to Cornell. And so we went to Cornell, and I may or may not have been drinking a little bit. And we were sleeping on couches. And I got up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom. I came back, my couch was taken. And I thought Robbie took my couch. Now, after the fact, I found out Robbie actually didn't take my couch, right? But I was so upset with Robbie that night that I took his bag of clothes and I went and threw them across the front lawn of the fraternity that we were staying at Cornell. And that sounds bad, right? But it actually gets worse. So then it snowed. It snowed. We got 5 inches of snow that night. And so the next morning, I wake up and Robbie's clothes are just covered in 5 inches of snow on the front lawn, and I hear Robbie running around being like, "Where's my bag? Where's my bag?" I'm like, "Hey man, you might want to go check the front lawn." And Robbie took his frozen underwear, and he quickly forgave me. And that was an amazing trait that you have, Robbie, and something that I think is really critical to marriage. Point 2. Never lose your sense of adventure and your individuality. And so I think a great example of that is our road trip, right? Which Robbie and I took a road trip to California, our sophomore year as well. A lot of things happened sophomore year. And we took this road trip, and it was the most probably influential experience, I think probably in my life, a defining experience in my life, because it gave me a couple of things, and I think it gave Robbie a couple of things as well, which is this spirit of adventurism, right, and sort of the desire to do more, and the sense that you could do anything and accomplish anything, because we were dead broke, and what we wanted to do was to go to California, get jobs, and then spend the summer there. I mean, it was very, very ideal what we wanted to do, and then we got there and we realized that was not going to happen. So we got there and we were going to stay in a fraternity at UCLA, and we got there and there was 2 mattresses on the floor, no box springs or anything, just mattresses on the floor. Black towels were covering the windows, serving as curtains. There was half-eaten chicken wings in the shower. And so Robbie and I quickly realized that LA for the summer wasn't happening. And so we subsequently then jetted back to Philly as quickly as we possibly could. But I would say there's a couple of things and a couple of stories that stood out to me that you probably haven't heard. So, yeah. So one, we ate one meal a day on this trip. And so we'd find buffets at mid-afternoon. We'd sort of time it perfectly, and we would just gorge ourselves for food. 2, we ate a ton of trail mix. I don't think it's possible in 2018 to buy this much trail mix, but Robbie bought an industrial-sized bag of trail mix from Costco, and that served as pretty much most of our food for the trip. And 3, cups of ice. So Robbie ate 4 to 5 cups of ice per day. And why, do you ask, Robbie ate cups of ice? Well, there's 2 things you can get for free at a truck stop. Trucker sex and cups of ice. And so, fortunately for everyone here, Robbie decided to opt for the cups of ice option over everything else. And so the final thing that I think is critical to marriage is, look, never lose sight of how lucky you guys both are. I love you both. I love you both. And there's a quick story. This is the shortest of the stories. I promise. So, my mom meets Jess for the first time, and if everyone knows my mom is not someone that is very, super forward and direct, and it takes time to win over my mom, right? Yes, my wife. And Robbie brings over Jess to watch an Eagles game, which, Jess, I love that you like the Eagles. I mean, well, Colts are okay, you're in the AFC. But at the end of the night, my mom grabs Robbie, drags him into the kitchen by himself, and looks him in the eye and says, "Marry her." And so, Robbie, I'm so happy that you finally heeded my mom's advice. So with that, look, Robbie is my brother, right? And I'm so happy to have you in our family. We love you, and if everyone could raise their glasses. Dilly dilly, Philly Philly.
Gentlemen, those were great. They were really great. I have notes. I'll be short. Robert. Jessica. Honored guests. I want you to take a moment and look around you. Just take this all in for a second. And now I want you to look at me. I want you to take this all in for a second. I want you to hold this image in your mind, because you will never see this again. I am retiring from matchmaking as of tonight. I know you thought you were here to celebrate the union of these 2 beautiful people, and in a way that's true, but what's more true is that this is a celebration of my first and last matchmaking effort. You can applaud. Now, as I know you're all wondering, how did I get us here? I actually met Jessica and Rob at the exact same time in 2012. That year included Sunday fun days, hikes, house concerts, trips to medieval times and medieval times after dark, which some might know as Ladder 15. And yet for some reason, I never managed to hang out with either of them at the same time. And what can I say? I had my own shit going on. It took me 3 more years to realize that these 2 would be perfect for each other. So when it finally happened, I sent out an electronic invite, and silence. It took me several more weeks to realize that Rob had indeed actually responded to my message, twice. And the second message from Rob said, Sarah, don't quit your day job of teaching to become a matchmaker. But if you still want your friend and I to meet, she should come to the November Project workout on Wednesday morning. Even if she thinks I'm a grotesque tool, she'll have fun, break a sweat, and meet other, parentheses, cooler people. FYI to any singles out there, meeting for an early morning sweaty workout is not many women's idea of a great first date, so Rob, don't quit your day job to start planning dates. They did not in fact meet for a workout date, but they had a classic West Philly Clark Park meetup, and then 3 months later I got this email from Rob. Quote, "This thank you is 3 months overdue. I told your girl that I loved her the other day, and truth be told, I knew it was something special the first night we met. I'm so grateful you connected us." That, ladies and gentlemen, is how it's done. All jokes aside, I struggled trying to figure out how I would possibly do this toast. There were so many things to talk about. And even though I love talking about how I have a natural ability at matchmaking and finding love for people, I found myself also wanting to retell everything about the year I moved in with Jessica and the years that we lived together. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do all of it. But the year I moved in with Jessica at 1126 South 48th Street in West Philadelphia is special. I wanted to tell you about how when I moved there, I was out of a job. I was out of an apartment. I was just out of a relationship with a man named Greg, who I later married. I was not in a great place. Jessica barely knew who I was at the time. We'd known each other for several weeks, but she took me into her house anyway and let me live with her. I definitely wanted to tell you about the brief but glorious time in when 1126 was home to not just me and Jessica, but Kelly and baby Eloise, and a whole host of women. That time can only be described as the time of the sister wives, plus Michael McShane, who also lives at 1126. Every night there was music in the kitchen, there were women making dinner, there was a utopian level of shared responsibilities. Champagne was drunk out of Eloise's tea set, that's fine. There was a lot of bad television. There was a lot of laughter, an unbelievable amount of laughter. And this snapshot to me is the most succinct way I can describe life with Jessica. Although Kelly and Eloise's stay was really too short. The next few years at 1126 felt the exact same as those first few weeks had. There was so much joy and giggling every single day. There was trust, there was the sense of a shared life and home and family. Rob, I know firsthand what a lucky man you are. I know that in your home you have someone who will wake up very early on your birthday to deck out the kitchen in streamers and balloons and birthday cards and your very favorite breakfast food. She will cheer you up in the way only Jessica does, like the morning during my very first, very hard year of teaching. I woke up, went to brush my teeth, and read a note on the mirror that said, "Cortez, do you know how often you give your spark? It's all the time, even when you don't know you're doing it. Every day in your classroom, you are doing it." In true Jessica form, the note was written on an old, crumpled up piece of paper that with a coffee stain. It was an old church program. Living with Jessica also means you'll have to hear about her extrasensory witch powers. You will need to be constantly left out of the jokes that she is laughing at all by herself. It means you will probably sometimes need to remind her how amazing she is. And sometimes you'll need to talk her off the anxiety ledge. But you should also know she will do that for you as many times as you need her to, and she will not complain once. And as we both know, it means that sometimes you'll come home and you'll be thrilled because there is a delicious dinner on the stove. But then you're going to realize that she's actually in scavenger kitchen mode and there's no fucking idea what's in that kitchen. Like, could be edible, might not, no, nobody knows. Nonetheless, it means that she will celebrate all of your important milestones. She will always check in with you about how you're feeling, what you're thinking. She's gonna love all the people that you love, befriend the people you befriend, and in short, make your life 1,000,000 times better than it was before you knew her. I have very little advice to offer you guys as a couple on how to build a home together. You have already done that. When I go home to visit now at 1126, it is just as filled with laughter and joy as I remember. It is a home of shared responsibility and purpose. There is love and respect and wonder at one another. It is palpable and contagious to be with you. What a gift that you two have finally found your true and lifelong mischief makers, your totem pole checker offers, your confidants, and your partners. Mazel tov.
I'm Kelly. I'm glad all the laughter's over with. All the jokes are done. I'm just here to tie up the rest of it. But if Sarah's the original matchmaker, I'm like the original matchmaker. Because I asked Jess out on a date in 2007, and then I set her up on a date in 2015 with Sarah. And they both needed each other at the time. And then Sarah did introduce. But I actually went through all the old emails that went around, so if anyone wants to talk to me later, I've got all the information on when Rob made Jess buy a new mattress. It wasn't good. You know, that it took her 2 weeks to respond to his first date. It's all good stuff. What I do love is your love story, and more than these dates, I just love so much how in tandem you are on separate but similar journeys, and you are raising puppies and building and renovating beautiful homes and literally running hundreds of miles to meet each other, which I think is so beautiful to imagine. Jess, I'd be remiss not to take the opportunity to gush about you in front of such a like-minded audience. You teach me every day, and so many of us, about joy, about patience, about endurance. You too, with all that running. And about friendship and honesty. But not only this, it's knowing you that gives me confidence in me. And from what I've heard from everyone this weekend, that seems to be a common theme. I think you build all of us up so much. And it sounds silly, but just having friends like you guys makes us all feel like we're like doing a great job. And we must be doing something right, so thank you. You are willing to love like no one else I know. You love those around you who have nothing. You love those who have hurt you. You love my children as though they were your own. You love people you have just met. And you love this man so honestly and so kindly and so well, which is beautiful for all of us to get to see. Not only this, you pray for us all, and good for you guys all to know she keeps shows on her DVR for everyone. Even if you live like 3,000 miles away, she's like, don't worry, I got you, I recorded that for you when you stop by. So, please, 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 each day that you both age, love yourself as much as you love everyone else around you. Please give yourself the benefit of the doubt. Find yourselves as funny as you are. They're wrong. You guys are really funny. Know that you are worthy and that you are kind, and trust that there are such good plans ahead for both of you. We are all so lucky to call you family and friends. I don't have a doubt that you can change the world to be its best self, just like you have changed so many of us. May, Jess, you always find Rob's worst quality the manner in which he organizes his phone chargers and cords. It feels like a great worst quality. But mostly, let's raise our glasses, and I toast that your marriage is long and joyful. Cheers.